Hey everybody, Christian Rust here. Just got back from my elk hunt in Colorado and just wanted to put together the final video in my vlog series for my elk hunt. This was my third time heading out to elk camp in Colorado over the last 4 years. And, met some new people. We had a great time. The most down animals in my experience with elk camp. We got one bull elk. My buddy Eric got that, and then we had a total of 3 mule deer. So quite successful. We had some fresh meat to cook in camp, and anyways, I'm gonna run down kind of how things went down and some things that we learned, and things that we might want to try for next time. So let's get started. When we first got out to Colorado, the elevation is quite a bit different from where most of us came from over on the East Coast. So I live in North Carolina. My other family, brother-in-law, nephews all live down in Florida. So going from near sea level elevations up to 9,000-10,000 feet elevation, we thought it was a good idea to go ahead and take our rifles down to the range and do a little bit of shooting. So most of us brought at least 1 or 2 rifles. Right here you can see I'm shooting my 6.5 Creedmoor AR-10 build. I also had a 300 Winchester short magnum, a Tikka T3 light, and also my dad's old Savage bolt gun in 270 Winchester short mag. So all of us took some turns shooting and just making sure our rifles were properly zeroed.
Ready to go.
And just for fun, my brother brought his 458 SOCOM build that he did a while back using a Bear Creek Arsenal upper receiver assembly. So I actually got a chance to shoot that thing as well. And I'll tell you, it's quite the thumper. So didn't get a chance to use it on any of the hunts, but he had brought it more or less just to take some shots with it, and just in case he wanted to do some brush hunting, close in stuff. Definitely would have done the job.
You get the target? I don't freaking know.
So the day before the hunt actually started, unfortunately my brother-in-law, he had a little bit of an ATV accident and actually had to be taken to the ER, and you know, his hunt was cut short. He was able to you know, hunt with us the first day, but minus an arm. He actually separated his shoulder. So the first day out on the hunt, my oldest nephew and I went and hiked up to the top of a peak and watched a pretty impressive sunrise. Didn't see any animals, but you know, the hike was definitely worth the views. The first day was quite a success for some of the guys that were with us. Guido and his family came out from Pennsylvania, and he got this really nice mule deer on the first day. So it was quite impressive of a buck. And you know, real excited for him and his family, you know, to come out and actually get a kill like that. So you know, definitely congrats to them guys, and you know, it was really nice meeting them out on this trip. I hope to see them next time I go out. By now we're a couple days into the hunting season, and we've spent a lot of time out in the mountains scouting, looking around, trying to find out where the elk are, and it's becoming kind of apparent at this point that we're not seeing a lot of elk. So a few days into the hunt, we kind of start to shift gears and you know, start looking seriously at getting some more mule deer down. So we found an area that there were some mule deer hanging out. I actually had a shot about 215 yards at one that was laying down. I could see the head and neck sticking up. I took a shot and missed, and but we circled back around about 20 minutes later, and were able to get this small button buck mule deer. So we were all pretty dang excited and pumped at this point. You know, some more meat hanging in camp, and even though it was a small guy, you know, it was you know, quite uplifting to you know, get some more meat. And you know, this was still kind of early in the hunt, so we were able to, you know, gain from this and then continue on trying to find some more mule deer and hopefully run into some elk. So the next couple of days we spent pretty much trying to hunt down mule deer specifically. We ran into a herd of mule deer. One of us fired and shot one we weren't able to find, unfortunately. And then you know, actually ran into a couple cow elk just kind of hanging out in some thick aspen, and we ended up getting a doe mule deer out of that. So so that's our third mule deer down, and you know, so we're feeling pretty good, and we decided to kind of celebrate that evening. So on the last day of the hunt, my brother, my nephews, and I are packing up to go, and Eric and Ivan, they happen to go out, and they come across a group of 4 bull elk, and Eric's able to down, looks like a 4x4. Unfortunately, we weren't able to be there to see it, but definitely congrats to him. I know he was super excited, and you know, that just goes to show, you know, being persistent and you know, trying to find the animals, you know, can pay off in the end. So. So there you guys have it. This is my first ever video series on my elk hunting, mule deer hunting escapades. This again was my third trip going out to Colorado. Logged just over 4,000 miles. That including the trip to the Denver airport to get my brother-in-law flown home. You know, things we learned from this trip specifically, like I kind of mentioned already in the video, was, you know, be persistent. You know, if you're out there hunting, don't get discouraged. You know, change tactics. You know, if you're doing the same thing and it ain't working, definitely get back out there and try something different. You know, hunt with a great group of guys, if possible. You know, we were very blessed to have been out there with Eric and Ivan, John, my brother-in-law, my nephews, and Guido and his family. You know, really, you know, kind of the synergy of working together and coming up with a plan really ended up paying off in the end. And again, super blessed to have been out there with all these fine guys, and you know, really looking forward to doing it again. So anyways, thanks everybody for watching, following along. You know, again, this was kind of a little bit of a different video from what I normally do, so a lot of it was kind of ad-lib, but really thanks everybody for coming along on this journey, and hopefully you know, somebody out there learned something from this, you know, that's looking into getting into hunting. Again, we're not experts. This is just, you know, from our perspective, you know, what we do and what kind of worked. Especially this, again, my most successful trip out there to Colorado to hunt elk and mule deer. So alrighty, so that about wraps it up. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Take care.